What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Lesson Thoughts Podcast. I am your host, Digital Relaxation. We are back again for another episode. And as always, if you guys like what you hear, what you're going to hear, please be sure to share this podcast, rate it, all of that good stuff. And yeah. So as always, let's start this off with what I've been up to. Of course, last episode was the Christmas special, not really, but the Christmas release episode, and that was the final episode of 2024. We are currently now in the new year 2025, so of course, for everyone listening, happy new year, man. We here, made it to another year, and we're gonna talk about it and later in the topic, but let's try to talk about what I've been doing from, I guess, Christmas leading. Oh God, I forgot Christmas happened. From Christmas leading on to pretty much just recording. So as always, we get into the things I ain't really do. So I didn't start reading it yet, but I did I bought a new manga. I was looking for the next volumes for Akira, but funny enough, what happened was I set my GPS to take me to Barnes and Nobles, and I thought that it would just take me to the one that I have been going, but I wanted to take the quicker way, because I believe there is a quicker way than the way that I know how to get to. So I wanted it to give me that direction without me having to figure it out, and it ended up taking me. I ended up going somewhere completely different. I didn't know where I was at. I ended up in a whole nother town, and a whole nother mall, and it was still before Christmas, I believe. So the malls was busy, the parking lots was packed, so trying to find parking, cars everywhere, it was annoying, and I didn't even know where I was at. So trying to figure out where to go and all of that good stuff is just annoying. Being stressed out, but I like, whatever, it's a new spot, let me see what they got. Went there, and it's so I don't think it's okay, so I've been to like 4 Barnes and Nobles, like within a driving area from me. I would say this is probably like maybe the third. Yeah, maybe the third or second biggest Barnes and Noble, but the manga and anime section is like small as hell. They barely really had anything, so I was disappointed in that. They didn't have no Akira at all, like nothing. So that was disappointing. Drove to a whole new spot for no reason, and they didn't even have what I wanted. So, cause my bad. Cause I told you the last episode, after I finished recording that podcast, that's when I went. That's what I went there. And my guest, she was on the call with me while I was driving there, so she was just hearing me being frustrated about me, like, where the hell am I? So that happened. I don't remember what I did. I think I just went home after that. I'm not 100% sure. I think I just went home, because that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So I think I just went home after that. But I think when I found another free time, I went to the Barnes and Noble that I normally go to. Well, one of the ones I normally go to. There's 2 that I go to, but they're both on opposite directions from where you want to go. So like, either you want to go all the way right or you want to go all the way left. They're too far apart. So I went to one of them that I normally go to, and disappointed again. I mean, at least they had Akira. They only had the first volume. I already got the first two, but yeah, they didn't have nothing beyond the first volume, so that was a down there. But while I was there, I normally see this manga, but I always see it like in broken volumes, like, oh, volume 5, and I'm like, where's volume 1 and 2? Like, you know, like you trying to get into a manga and they just be skipping volumes. So normally when I see it, it's like that, but I finally saw it. The manga is Vagabond. I found the first volume, so I was interested in wanting to read this. So I was like, let me get it just in case if I don't ever see the first volume again. So that whenever I started, I had the first volume. But I don't want to jump into it because I want to finish Akira first. I don't want to read, and it sounds crazy that I'm saying that. I don't want to read too many manga at the same time, but that's what I'm technically doing. But most of the manga I read are digital, and most of them are still being updated. I already mentioned that I just finished reading a couple recently. Others are still being updated, so it's not like I'm constantly like reading a bunch of mangas back to back. But I want, like, in terms of my physical manga, I want to just focus on one at a time, because that's a lot to collect, and I don't have the shelf space for all of that right now, so I'm taking my time. I do want to own the Death Note. I want to read it, but I also want to own it. It's a lot. But yeah, so I got the first volume of Vagabond. I don't know when I'll read it. Again, I want to probably finish Akira first, but now I got to go to the other Barnes and Nobles and see. Because funny enough, I believe that's the Barnes and Nobles that's the Barnes and Noble I went to get the first volume. But I remember that when I went to that store, like, they had like pretty much all the volumes there. So I'll be disappointed if I go this time and they're missing. So whenever I find time and the funds to go do that, I'll do that. I would say probably this week, because I actually have to go grocery shopping and do adulting. But the Barnes and Noble is actually in that direction as well, so maybe I'll poke my head in. But I don't like walking in places to window shop. Like, I like, if I'm going in there, it's with a purpose. Like, I'm leaving here with something. So like, I don't like that. That's just me. Like, that it makes me feel weird inside. Like, I'm just like, I wasted my time, and I wasted, like, I don't want to say I wasted people's time in there. Like, oh, they expected me to come in there, buy something, and whatever, I just walk in and walk out. Like, the hell with that. But I also feel like I wasted my time. Like, I went all the way over there just to leave. I'm like, nah, I came here, I'm trying to leave with something. So I don't know, but maybe. But yeah, I also went to Barnes and Noble for other reasons, but that's a surprise for the moment. But yeah. Christmas happened. I went to go hang out with my father and his family for Christmas, because my mother traditionally does not celebrate Christmas in this country because she goes back home to her family. So she out there chilling with her mom, my grandmother, and whatnot. Get a drink real quick. So was chilling with them. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that my dad had recently I'll say my dad, but my dad, the household recently got a dog. It's a little small dog. So the thing about me with dogs, it's up in the air about me being allergic to them, because of course when I was, when you get older, I guess you just randomly start having random reactions to things that you normally didn't have reaction to when you were younger. So like when I was a kid, for the most part, I was cool around like cats and dogs. And then it wasn't until like my early teenage years, I just started getting a crazy reaction towards cats at first. So we thought it was cats, and then we realized it was both cats and dogs. My grandmother owned both at the time. And like I said before, like growing up, she always had a dog, but then like a few years later, she got a cat. But she had both of them for a long time, and I've been cool around both of them in terms of like I can, live and I react. And then randomly, I just started reacting to them. So I haven't really touched a cat. I've been around, I've been close to cats. And in my recent Japan trip, we actually went to a cat cafe, but they are so like, if you're not, you're not feeding them or whatever, like they don't know you, they kind of like move so they don't let you pet them or whatever, like, cause they don't know who you are. So it's like they real stingy. But so I haven't had a chance to really like interact physically with cats since my early teens. So I don't know how bad I can react to cats. For dogs, on the other hand, it's been a mixed bag. My cousin had a dog for a long time. And I would get a reaction, but it would be like very, very mild. Like, just randomly my eyes just start swelling up a little bit, but then after a while it calm down. Like if I'm probably touching the dog too much, then like, I get a little reaction. But then if I like step away from him for a little bit, then I calm down after like an hour or so. So it was like, I don't know if it's like coincidence, like, when you randomly just have those allergy moments, like that always happens to me. Like I'll be all right, and then like I leave and go somewhere and my body just starts reacting as if like I just got hit with some crazy allergy reaction. And it's weird. So you don't know. But then my other cousin got a dog. It's a different breed. And I reacted to that dog almost immediately when I touched him. Like my body started breaking out. My eyes are swelling up and all of that. I was like, so I don't know. I mean, we could chalk it up that probably dogs in general I'm allergic to, maybe, but I guess it depends on what breeds. Like I can manage it more. So with my dad's dog, well, funny enough, because I don't live there, so like I'm a stranger to him. So he all scared and whatever around me. He ain't really messing around me, but I'll get into that update in a minute. But yeah, so he'll scared. So I haven't really had time to at the moment. I didn't really have much time to mess with him. So I'm like, I am cool around him. It's cool, whatever. And he's a small dog, so I didn't think I would react to him much. So that was cool. But yeah, the Christmas thing, exchanged some gifts, whatever, ate some food, had a good time. I believe I was actually off the day after Christmas, so I was able to, chill at home the following day, and relax. I don't think I did anything. I don't remember. But yeah. Then the next thing, of course, New Year happened. So this one goes into music, I guess. I've been working, so I mean, I'm not gonna say if y'all know, but I mean, y'all know I do music, but in terms of like what I've been working on or whatnot, I have a project that I've been wanting, like it's my main project. Like, this is like, this is like the important one that I want to drop, but it's still incomplete. So, and I want to get it right, so I'm not gonna try to force it out like I did other ones, because then I'll be having like little regrets of like, damn, like the project is cool, but you know, it could have been better if it would have came out the way I wanted it to come out. So I want this one to come out right. So while that project is in limbo, I was like, let me work on another project. So I want to do like a quick. I did say there was a spoiler alert, whatever, in the last podcast. But I'm working on a small little like 5-song project, and I'm using the same producer. So I'm like the same so the beats is from the same person. Usually, like I said, I'll get beats from like multiple different producers or whatever. So it'll be interesting to like, you know, have one solid sound, I guess, or like one style in terms of beat production, and just make a little project from that. And I wanted to make it's not a planned song. I think this one kind of just hit me. So Kendrick Lamar, I know he dropped his GNX album. So I listened to it a couple of times in full, like a couple of times. There's some songs I still play like on its own. And I was listening to The Heart Part 6, and that beat is just crazy. And I was just like, see, this beat so good. Like, I wish I could rap on a beat like this and do something to it. And I was like, hold on, maybe this beat, like someone have recreated the beat or whatever. The beat is out there. So I searched it out. I'm like, I found the beat, but they didn't have the hook in it. So I did my little mixing magic, whatever. So I managed to take the beat and insert the hook into it, so it just sounds like the complete song. And I made a song which is basically the sequel to my Memory Lane song. I made a Memory Lane song. Funny enough, this one was also like a spur of the moment thing. The first Memory Lane song literally happened like in the snap of a finger. I woke up and I hopped on TikTok and I saw a video that played this beat on it. And I was like, this beat is amazing. I searched it up, found it, and like I said, I didn't even, like, I woke up, I didn't get myself ready, I didn't eat breakfast, nothing. Like, I woke up, wrote that song, recorded it right there, and that was it. I was like, wow. So the whole, if you go by the title of the song, the whole concept of the song is me basically talking about my life, and, you know, thinking about, you know, back in the days and how things changed from then to now, but like in a positive way, not negative. So it's like that. So with the inspiration of finding that beat, I was like, I could do a song to this. And I was like, what kind of song would I want to do? And then, like, I know, of course, I was like, no, I'm freestyling the song in my head. I'm like, all right, so this comes together. So I know what I want to talk about. So then I was like, this could be Memories Lane 2. So I basically ended up making Memories Lane 2. So you could find it if you want to on YouTube. Just search Rome Memory Lane 2 Part 2. But yeah, and it's a hefty song because the song is like almost 5 minutes long. Writing all of that, then recording it to get it right, that was a lot. So I wanted to drop it when the ball dropped. So like it's the new year, so I give it a new song. My ass fell asleep like 20 minutes before the ball dropped. I was tired. But luckily I woke up like 10 minutes after the ball dropped and just like, cause I already had it uploaded, just, you know, making it public. So I was like, let me just make it public real quick. And then, yeah, it's the song. And then go back to sleep. But yeah, so I dropped the song for on New Year. That's to usher in the new year. And yeah. So after that, and I feel like I'm be talking about my life a lot. And then this is what my guests don't like doing. But you know, it is what it is. I only got a few more episodes of this. But yeah, so my father and his family, they were planning like, let's do like a little weekend getaway It was supposed to be for like New Year, but schedules and people were working and whatnot. So they figured out. Oh, they finally found the time for everyone to do it on the weekend. And we went out, stayed in the Airbnb for the weekend, and we did some snow tubing. That is basically just sliding down a big snow mountain. Well, it wasn't huge, but like a snow mountain slide, in like a tube, like a water park, but snow. And yeah, we just hung out in a new area for a couple of days, and then went back home. But so here's the thing. So this is what I was talking about with my father's dog. Is that so now that he got to actually just be around me for a couple of days, not like, oh, I'm just popping up every once in a while, and he's like, who the hell is this? So well, I wonder what he's gonna be like now for when I do pop up next time, but we'll see. But yeah, so he was chilling with me a little bit, and on the way to the Airbnb, I was like, I was touching him a little bit just so he could get familiar with me. And on the way there, I started reacting, but I don't know if it was because of him. So that's the thing. So, my eye was just puffering a lot. I was like, oh, this is bad. Like, and it wasn't calming down and whatever. So I was like, oh, like it might be bad. I might really be allergic to them. But luckily, I did bring some allergy pills with me, just in case. So like, once we settle into the spot, I'm just gonna take one and see how things go from there. And pretty much that's it. So yeah, I took an allergy pill, and pretty much I wasn't reacting to him pretty much the entire weekend. I was cool with him. So, we were chilling with him. There was times I was just laying on the couch, watching TV, and he would just hop up on the couch and just lay down on top of me, and we'd just be chilling. So I wasn't reacting to him. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know if it's because my reaction to him is not as severe as like it was with my cousin's dog, where it's like I could probably just take like an allergy pill or whatever, and I'll just be cool with him. But then I don't want to be like freaking popping pills every time I'm around. Like, it just sounds weird. But like it's more controllable with him. Like if I had something like counter it, I guess. But yeah, that was pretty much what I've been up to in terms of just like since Christmas and New Year. There is one more thing I could say about music, which is I finally got a chance to listen to Redman Muddy Waters 2 album. It technically came out, I think, Christmas Eve. I don't remember. But I listened to it now, and dope album, long as hell, but it's still dope. Because he comes from the old school where making these 20 plus songs on an album was the thing. Well, not really, but it was more what's the word I want to say, like it was more common compared to like now, where most of these projects is like 10 songs and 9 songs. Like me, like this album was 23 songs long. 23 songs. The total length of the album is 1 hour and 7 seconds. Take that how you will, if that sounds long or not. Mind you, some of these songs are just skits that don't even like make it to a minute. Because he's known for like having funny skits in his albums. But it felt long to me. Well, albums that are long, like in the hour range, and I'm listening to them for the first time, feel a lot longer to me. Because hold on, this is the wrong album I'm looking at. this is Muddy Waters 1. Why is it showing me 1? Where's Muddy Waters 2 at? don't want it to play on YouTube and you hear things. So what is this? If this, I don't know if this is true. Oh my Lord. Well, if this is true, going by this YouTube playlist, this album is 32 tracks long. Let me, looking on Genius, it's 32 tracks, bro. Like, damn, what the hell we doing out here? 32. I don't have a timestamp on how long this album is, but yeah, like I said, the album long. But it's good. I mean, Redman is enjoyable to listen to, but damn, it's an hour and 21 minutes long, so it's just a little bit longer than the original Muddy Waters. But damn, 32. That's nuts. I sat there and listened to all of that shit. This is a song, track 25, called "Light It Up." If this is true, I never knew this. I didn't know this. Damn, I didn't know this. This is new. So the song, track number 25, "Light It Up," is basically a posse cut that features pretty much a bunch of New Jersey rap legends, because Redman's from New Jersey. And at first I was getting it, like I was like, yeah, New Jersey. And then Shaq came on, and I'm like, Shaq? I was like, he's not from Jersey, is he? Because when I'm thinking about Shaq, I think about like the teams he played on, and I associate with that, probably that's where he's from. So like I was like, the first team he was on in the NBA was Orlando Magic. So I'm like, maybe he's from Orlando, and he went to the Lakers. Yeah, he's from Jersey. I didn't know that. There you go. So yeah, it's a posse cut with Redman himself, Naughty by Nature, Queen Latifah, Rod Digger, Shaq, Lords of the Underground, Lady Luck, Artifacts, Heather B. Heather B was on there, Channel Live, and Nikki D. All just rappity rapping for 5 minutes. And that's just 25. So it's the fact that you still got like another damn near like 7 songs afterwards. It's like, this album was long. But yeah, still enjoyable. I'm glad that's the only thing I listened to. Like, damn. But that's a way to close out last year. Last year was good for music. For other things, not so much. For me personally, like, people have their tastes on what was good and whatnot. But, I wasn't focusing on too many things last year. But I was trying to keep my ear to the music for the most part. And yeah. So that's that. Let me get weird real quick and do a side tangent. So I haven't watched anything, like seriously watched anything recently. I want to start watching stuff, of course. I want to get back focused this year, but we get into that. Oh damn, I really want that. So how I like to watch movies that I've like seen when I was like younger or whatever, and like, I probably didn't properly understand the movie, so I want to like rewatch it now with a new perspective and a new lens on life and whatnot. I haven't watched it, but I've just been watching a lot of clips from The Matrix, and trying to understand like what exactly was happening here. And why what was the purpose of certain characters? That's what I was kind of like thinking. And I was thinking about the Oracle, and I was watching like scenes with the Oracle, and then trying to figure out like, who is the Oracle, whatever Neo asked it, he comes in like, who are you? But he's like, oh, you just basically another, a machine in the system. So how can I trust you? And blah blah blah. And and I mean, a lot of people have alluded to it, but it was just nice to piece it together on, not piece it together, but think about it on my own time about, because we all know when we learned the plot twist in the second movie about how the Matrix has happened 5 times prior in terms of its creation and inception. This whole war and the whole cycle of creating the Matrix, trapping humans, some get out, the machines destroyed their home planet, their home Zion, and just rinse and repeat for the most part. That's kind of the cycle, and there's usually an anomaly who will be the one in each iteration. So it's just a cycle that happened where it's there's people are waking up to, obviously different, the certain Matrix were different because the first one would be it was just a utopia, everything was happy, everything was peaceful, and people immediately started rejecting it, this is not right. And they started waking up. So they started doing other stuff. There was a time where, let's make vampires and all those creatures that we learned about, they existed in one time, because we learned that in the second Matrix, where some of the people there were vampires, with I don't want to butcher that man's name, but the dude from the fancy diner scene. And just kept on getting weirder, and people rejecting it. Then slowly, then they're like, oh well, if we just give people free will and the illusion of choice, and make it feel like they actually, their decisions mean something when it really doesn't. And it is what it is. And then the one would normally he'll break free from this because he's an anomaly. He's just he's basically just a big the word was right there, and the just combination it's a big combination of multiple things that's wrong with the system and the algorithm, just bunched up into one person. And that's why he's able to manipulate and move around in the Matrix the way he can. But it's against the whole cycle. He does what he does, and then he gets put in a situation where he has to make the choice to save Zion. They normally make that choice to save Zion, and it temporarily stops the situation, but eventually they do lose, and the cycle repeats, and they make another. Basically, the Matrix would just reboot. All right, we're gonna start over again. So, in the Matrix, the movies that we're following, the Oracle is we've been doing this for so much time, and the architect also said his job is to balance everything, and he said the Oracle job is basically to unbalance everything. That's what she does. With her visions and whatnot. And I was thinking I don't think the Oracle can foresee the future or whatever. I think because she's a programmer and because of how long the cycle has been going, she's gotten so good at being able to read people, just by talking to them a little bit and seeing them, but also knowing how to manipulate people without even before they even really meet. Well, even when they meet, she knows how to manipulate people to make her seem she knows. She talked to Neo for a little bit, and she got to get the sense of how he is. And she's able to like foresee a lot of things, not in the future, but like in the moment of like, okay, he seems a little nervous, he's a little close in his corners, and she'll see, so I'm gonna say something that's gonna make it seem like I know it's gonna happen, but it's because it's obvious that it's gonna happen. So she's like, oh, and don't mind the vase, and he's like, oh, what vase? And they turn around and knocks it over, because like, yeah, I saw that you right there, and I could tell by your demeanor that you would be curious to look for it the way you did. So like, she can manipulate you into thinking that she foresaw that, but it was just like, she been like, you know, she just did it because she can mess with you. So yeah, so I think that's where her game has been the whole time, where she's just been like purposefully like reading people and manipulating people to move in a way that she wants, because she's trying to end this cycle. That's been her game, because she's like, yo, I'm tired of doing this. Like, we're gonna keep doing this reboot, start up, cycle, go crazy, reboot, start up, cycle, whatever. So she want to end the cycle for good. So she purposefully went to Trinity and, you know, messed with her head and manipulated her into believing like, oh, you're gonna fall in love with the one, and yeah, and you know, and then basically forcing Neo and Trinity into a relationship. So that was the difference between all the previous ones and Neo, is that they didn't have a Trinity. So when he was faced with the choice in the second movie of, you know, save Zion and restart the cycle, or you can save Trinity, he was like, you know, this I'm saving Trinity, no problem. Like, you know, I'm gonna do this now and I'll save Zion later. I feel like, you know, because he like, you know, I believe we could do that later, but this I need to do this now. It's now or never. So that's what changed everything. But it's interesting. So I don't know, I probably might just rewatch the whole franchise, even the fourth one, because the fourth one pretty much alludes to the whole fact that Trinity was like as important as Neo. That's why they both were like, oh, we're gonna keep y'all both together. Y'all both are technically the one. But yeah. That's mostly it. Topic is gonna be short, honestly. It's just gonna be the typical New Year's talk or whatever. Because I don't really have much to say right now. So now that we're in the new year, one of the things I wanted to talk about, you know, what I've been up to is gonna be tailored to this, which would be, you know, video games. You know me, I play video games. I haven't really played much of new games. I mean, I played some games, but I played a lot of games that either I previously, for the most part, previously already beaten, just to, you know, beat them again and enjoy them again in a new way. Like, oh, I did the Tomb Raider trilogy, but I did it back to back this time, instead of like, oh, I beat the first Tomb Raider, then I had to wait for the second one to be happening, and I had to wait for the third one. I just beat them in one whole succession, and all of that. I was getting back in streaming and all that, so I want to focus on, because pretty much last year, I don't want to say I was on autopilot. Last year I was doing a lot of, you know, searching and questioning things and figuring out what works in my life and what don't work in my life. So, you know, just trying to put the pieces together, remove pieces that don't fit, and seeing what to do. So when going into this new year, I know what to focus on and know what to do. So basically that's what my topic is. That's what my question is, or whatever you want to say. What is it you guys are gonna be focusing on for the new year? You know, like, it could be something simple, like I said, you know, well, it's not just games for me, but one thing could be, you know, just games. Like, you know, I want to start playing more games that's gonna be released this year instead of playing older games. I want to get more into streaming. Because, you know, once this podcast, I reached 100 episodes on this podcast, I can focus on doing more things. I also want to focus more on appreciating my worth and respecting my worth and myself compared to what I used to do not last year, but like what I normally used to always do with like friends and relationships. Like, you know, I'll be so given to other people, and you know, I'm willing to stick my neck out for a lot of people and do things. So now I'm at the state where, like, you know, I know how important I am to people. I know what I can do for people. I'm not saying like, you know, oh, like, you know, y'all ain't nothing without me, but it's like I know what I bring to a relationship, and then like, so it's like the moment y'all start acting sour and acting a certain way, and y'all acting like, oh, like we're like, you know, because like I said, I spent the whole last 2 years dealing with my mortality and dealing with life and death. Not messing with time no more. Like, you know, like we just gonna enjoy life, and you know, I don't have the time for people to be playing with me and playing with my life and playing with my time as if like I'm always gonna be here forever as well. Like, I'm trying to do something for y'all now, well, not for y'all, but with y'all, wherever it be. Like, we trying to build something together, we trying to do something together, or anything, just simple things, like, or just want, you know, I want to hang out with you guys more, but y'all, you know, y'all choosing to do other things, or hang out with other people more or whatever. It's like, all right, it's cool. Like, you know, I'm not, you know, you got your life, everyone got their life, everyone got their journey. So, you know, I'm not going to try to force myself into your lives, but I'm also not going to sit here and wait to be a part of it either. That's what I used to do mostly in my teen years. Like, you know, I used to, like, you know, so I started disliking gaming because, you know, I used to be like, oh, let me wait till everyone is on. And then the crazy thing, like I said, back in my teen years, like high school years, I only could play games during the weekend because, you know, school. So I had to wait all week to finally hop on the game to play with my boys. And I hop on, and either they not online, or when they all online, they all, like, you know, they all in their group already, and it's like I gotta try to squeeze my way in there. Or it's the whole, I get there and they was already online, and like the moment I get there, like, oh, we was just hopping off, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I ain't got nothing to do. So it's like making myself feel like, oh, like, you know, I'm just, you know, worthless and pointless now because everybody's just doing things without me. It's like, you know, I know that I can enjoy myself, I can do things for myself, do things for other people who's also available. So it's like, I'm not gonna sit there and just keep waiting for everybody, whatever, you know. I'm not operating on y'all time, I'm operating on mine. This is my life, trying to make the best out of my decisions and do things. So, you know, I'm not here for you guys. I'm here for me. You can be a part of this journey if y'all want, but that's that. So I'm not gonna be sitting here holding myself to people, holding myself to certain standards anymore. Like, you know, I just want to do things that's right for me, that feels right for me, that's comfortable for me. Not going out my comfort zone. I was doing that a lot last year too, doing things I normally don't do. Just gonna stop doing that because, you know, it didn't do nothing for me. But I did that on purpose because I wanted to see why. Like, you know, why do people do certain things like that? I know, let me see why people do it. Like, all right, I see it. See, some of the things are effective in certain environments, but it's not effective all the time. So it's like, I can't do it all the time. It's like, it's no point in doing it all the time because it doesn't do nothing, and it doesn't make me any different than I was before I was doing it. Just that, you know, depending on what it is, I'm just spending more money. So like, save my money and do things with my life. So for the most part, yeah, I'm just trying to focus, as you know, my guest didn't like me saying, but you know, I'm trying to lock in. just focus on me. I'm tired of, you know, hearing about other people, and I'm not saying that, and I don't want to hear about your life, but I'm talking more in terms of like social media. It's like kind of why I deleted TikTok and whatnot. Like, I want to delete everything else as well, but you know, I do things that need promoting. So Tired of like hearing about everyone's business, I guess. And you know that was kind of the thing I was trying to talk about last podcast, but you know, podcasting wasn't her thing, so she wasn't getting it. But getting back into privacy, like getting back to doing you, minding your own business, living your life, because you know everything don't need to be documented, everything don't need to be viral, to feel validated, to feel like your life has meaning to it, because now everybody else can see it and react to it. So just want to spend that time really like doing stuff for me. Focus on my self-worth, focus on respecting myself, and just having a good year. We got some things planned for the year. Hopefully they all fall through. You know, you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Just hope for the best and see where it goes from there. But that's mostly it. That's mostly it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Of course, the question as I asked, you know, what are going to be some things you're going to be focusing on now that we're in the new year? It could be the simple things, you know, just working out more or whatever. It could be more deeper things within yourself. So I pray for the best on all of y'all journeys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Share it, rate it, all of that good stuff. See you guys on the next episode. So on, but till then, have a great day, have a great week, and peace.